You know that feeling, right? You get to the end of the day, you look back, and you're just like, where did it all go? You had this whole list of things you wanted to do, but the day just disappeared. It's super frustrating, and honestly, it happens to all of us. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into where that time is actually going, and, more importantly, how we can get it back. Okay, check this out. 86,400. That number, well, that's how many seconds we all get every single day. You don't get more, I don't get less. It's the one resource that's totally fair.
The real question, though, is what are we doing with them? That really is the most important question, isn't it? Because, all those tiny little choices we make, second by second, they all add up. They literally build the life we end up living. So let's figure out how to start making those choices with a little more purpose.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. We're always looking for that next big productivity hack, right? Some new app, some new system. But what if the secret isn't about adding something new? What if the real power comes from subtracting? From just stopping the things that are quietly stealing our time when we're not even looking? All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to look at 4 big time-draining habits. Then we'll uncover the real culprit behind them, which might surprise you. And we'll wrap it all up with one last question, just for you. Okay, let's dive in. Let's take a look at 4 of the most common culprits that eat up our precious time, often without us even noticing it's happening. So here are the big 4. Video games, watching TV, surfing the internet, and of course, scrolling social media. Now look, none of these things are bad on their own, but man, they can turn into absolute black holes for our time if we aren't paying attention. Let's kick things off with the first one. First up, playing video games. And hey, gaming is massive for a reason, right? It's fun, it's engaging, but that's the thing, it's designed to be so immersive that time just melts away. You think you're just gonna play for a little bit and then you look up and bam, it's midnight. Half your evening is just gone. So you've gotta ask yourself this question. For all the time you're sinking into a game, what are you really getting back? I mean, sure, it's fun in the moment, but what about that lasting satisfaction? The kind you get from hitting a goal in the real world. Is that epic loot you just got gonna matter in a year, 5 years? Probably not, right? It's all about that trade-off between a quick thrill and long-term fulfillment. All right, number 2, watching TV. We all say it, don't we? A little TV won't hurt. And yeah, maybe, but the real question is, what exactly is a little bit? Because I'm telling you, it adds up way, way faster than you think. And when I say it adds up, I mean it. Get this. A Nielsen report found that the average American watches over 34 hours of TV a week. 34 hours. That's almost a second full-time job. Just think about that. Imagine what you could build or learn or create if you got even a fraction of that time back. And it's not just about the lost time either. Research actually links heavy TV watching to some pretty serious stuff, like lower life satisfaction and higher anxiety. Why? Well, think about it. TV shows us this world of perfect people with perfect lives, having these amazing adventures. And then we look at our own lives, which are, normal and sometimes messy. It's so easy to feel like we're not doing enough or that our life is boring in comparison. So we watch just one more episode, looking for an escape that actually ends up making us feel kind of worse. Okay, on to number 3. Just surfing the internet. This one is the ultimate black hole, for real. The entire internet is engineered to grab your attention and just not let go. Let me tell you a story about a guy named Mike. And I bet this is going to sound painfully familiar. So it's 4 p.m. Mike sits down at his desk. He's got a big exam coming up. He's got his textbook out. He's feeling motivated. He's ready to go. His intentions, absolutely golden. But then he hits a tricky spot in the book, a concept he doesn't quite get. So he thinks, no big deal. I'll just do a super quick search online to figure this out. I mean, that's a smart move, right? Productive even. He pulls up a Wikipedia page, gets his answer, and then, since he's already there, he figures he'll just check his email real fast. And whoosh! Next thing he knows, it's 9 p.m. 5 hours have just vanished. That quick check spiraled into Facebook, which led to a few Reddit threads, then a bunch of YouTube videos. You know the drill. He fell straight down the rabbit hole. Mike got sucked in, and his study session was completely toast. Which leads us perfectly into our 4th and final habit, scrolling social media. And look, it can be a great way to stay in touch with people. But let's be honest, it's also been engineered from the ground up to be one of the most effective time wasters ever created.
Just chew on this for a second. The average person spends 2 hours a day on social media. 2 hours! That adds up to over 700 hours a year. Now, unless your job is literally managing social media, that is a massive chunk of your life that could be going toward, well, almost anything else.
And yeah, just like TV, it can mess with our heads. It's been linked to things like loneliness and even depression. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? We're just scrolling through an endless feed of everyone else's highlight reel. We see the perfect vacations, the perfect families, the perfect achievements. And even though we know it's not the whole story, it's so hard not to compare it to our own messy, behind-the-scenes reality. It can really make you feel like you're falling short. So we've gone through these 4 big time wasters, but here's the big twist. This is the most important takeaway of this whole thing. The problem isn't actually the video games or the TV or social media. Not really. The real enemy here is mindlessness. It's doing these things without any intention at all. Let me break it down. Look at the difference here. Something becomes a time waster when you just drift into it. It's a habit you do on autopilot. But that exact same thing can be a joyful activity when you do it on purpose, when you make a conscious choice like, you know what, I'm going to play this game for exactly 1 hour to unwind. See the difference? That's you being in control, not the habit. So that's the solution right there, intentionality. This isn't about quitting everything you enjoy. You don't have to delete all your games or cancel Netflix, not at all. The goal is to just engage with these things on your terms. Set a timer. Decide beforehand how long you're going to watch. Be mindful about it. That's how you transform a mindless time suck into a deliberate, refreshing break. Okay, so we've covered the habits and we've talked about the power of being intentional. Now, to wrap things up, let's bring it all back home. Back to you and back to your 86,400 seconds. And this really says it all. If someone asks you what you did today and your honest answer is, I don't really know where the time went, well, that's your sign. That's the alarm bell telling you it's time to take a step back and reflect. It's time to reclaim your intention and to start choosing again. So the question is, what are you going to choose to do with your seconds tomorrow?